Hey, what is going on, everybody? Coach Ashes here, bringing you a VOD review on Vasgar Gears of War 5. This was submitted to me by a student. I actually did a VOD review lesson with them a couple days ago, and so that's kind of what the first gap is here on this timestamp. But this is the second map of that. I told him I'd do it as a video just kind of for free, as like a thank you. But I'm hoping to keep this one a little bit shorter than what I do in the lessons. So for those of you who might be interested in booking a VOD review with me, thyashes.com/services. I do need to update the calendar on there, but this is a little taste of what we do. So basically I've got like my little draw tool here, and we're going to watch this, kind of pick out some kind of key points in the rounds that shifted the momentum in one team's favor or the other, and take a look at how this team's setting up, their strategies, things like that. So off the rip, we're seeing we're not from the point of view of the guy who I did the session with. The person is actually Charles on this guy's team. Yeah, he just got a kill in the kill feed, and I have the volume kind of low. They call out in Spanish, so I can't really comment on comms too much. But it looked like they went for kind of an OE strat. I'm only seeing 2 people actually participating in the OE, which is kind of weird. It looks like one of them might have cut back. A lot of teams, you'll want to actually secure the home hill of the other team before you start rotating back, but it looks like they lost the fight on both ends. That's going to put them in the situation where the other team has 2 hills. They've broken the home hill. They're threatening the 3 cap, and they actually win the round. So that whole thing goes wrong because I'm opening up I'm going to open up this overhead map right here. As soon as I find it, here we go. Overhead maps. So that whole thing goes wrong is because they only had 2 people push through, so they pushed through this side, and then they had their third person kind of cut back and help the people who are rotating from here defend that push, and then they didn't secure C hill, and obviously they lost B because the other team pushed B heavy. They pushed 3 here to the 2. So they ended up just losing both sides of the map. So you need to commit to one side or the other if you're going to do that. I like this like head down, fearless pushing style. See right here, they're committing to it. They got a kill really quickly. There was a kid on the yellow barrier. And it doesn't look like they have stuns either. So this is kind of a bad fight, but looks like the other team's choking and these guys are fighting it really well. Yeah, they even sent 4 here. So they won the 4v4. Their teammate lost the 1v1 on B hill. I'd like to see them get this cap and then rotate off and get B. It might be too late, actually. All right, it's too late. So what should happen is these guys should kind of play like to hold this home, but not losing their lives. So rolling off when they start getting pressured off too much. Make the other team use utility. And meanwhile, their other 2 members should be pushing the other side of the map trying to get B hill. However, that's not going to work. Tricky dies. It looked like somebody was fighting in mid as well. I couldn't tell who. So the person who was on Cog's home hill is now here in the fight, flanking. He died. He trades 1 for 1. Their 5th person is here. So they're really fighting for this home hill. And in the meantime, somebody broke their home. And B is still in favor of the other team. This is good to chase. If they can chase this kid, get this kill, they can get B and leave their home hill. Oh, he got downed. Oh, so close. You hate that when that happens. You hate that. Someone else off spawn looks like they picked up B. Ooh, this guy's playing gatekeeper. Oh, there's a few of them. So right there, that guy didn't need to die on their home. He was just trying to make a hero play. By the way, this is a VOD from their stream, so obviously the quality is not as great as something that was just freshly recorded, so I apologize for any kind of blurriness you see. It's just because it's a downloaded rebroadcast. All right, so Swarm is wasting their stuns here. Cog kind of wasted their stuns too. A lot of people throw their stuns and then roll backwards, like that stun didn't do anything for them right here. So like if he got in the revive and then they threw the stun and pushed, then they would have had a chance of getting their home hill back. The good news is whoever was on B for them has OE'd. So they're really making this round chaotic. They're going to have to split Swarm's attention. Yeah, that was questionable. They should still win this round, though. I don't know what the respawn economy is looking like. He's got 3. It's not bad. It's about even. They should win this round. He probably didn't need to spawn up, especially if he's going to suicide like this. I guess he's buying time. I guess you could look at it optimistically like that, but that guy definitely didn't need to respawn. Not terrible. They answered back. They could have closed that round out a lot earlier. So it looks like both teams have upgraded flashes to retros. So both teams are looking for that sniper placement. Good lord, these guys are flying. This is such a weird meta to see where teams just fly at bags without stopping. I kind of like it. So they've kind of held off this initial push. They have 2 hills. So as long as they keep holding this push, they're actually in a really good position. And instead of just holding it, they decided to push down. Yeah. That goes wrong because they pushed down. Like, they had control. There's no need for them to push down. And, nice kill. That lost them complete control of that. I'd also like to see them holding their respawns. Just something you'll see a lot of pro teams do is they'll all wait until like 2 or 3 of them can respawn together. That way they can all run at the home hill with spawn protection. Something that I'm not seeing these guys do. They're just kind of pushing up and respawning as they respawn. But there's no point. It's not like you need to play for a touch right here. The hill's already capped. This guy's being a menace. Did he just die? Yeah, I think he just died. All right, so it looks like they're going to play to defend B so they can keep themselves in this round. They're still in the round. Again, I don't know what the respawn economy is looking like. But they just picked up a kill. So they should be able to still fight back in this. They have maybe 1 more push. And it looks like they're going to try to kind of flip the map here. I like this play. Clearly retaking their home wasn't working, though I've explained why. If they would have just held their spawns and pushed together. Swarm is adapting and trying to flip back. Tricky got picked off. His teammate should have helped him. That guy should have been a kill. He was probably holding his respawn. They need a hill. Yeah, this round's over. This round is a swarm round. They just weren't playing together. A lot of individual plays right there. Like that guy, Tricky should have been picked off in spawn by the Myra. So that's where that round goes wrong. I'm expecting both teams to put snipes. Oh, okay. So the other team put a sniper down center line over here, like where the E hill normally is. Interesting choice. All right, so this team played for the pick. I'm surprised they put a center line weapon down and then didn't put too much pressure on it, the swarm team. They do have 2 hills to 1, and it is only a sniper. Albeit sniper is pretty strong on this map because of all the angles and like the kind of like weird spots you can sit and get headshots or get damage. It's not like a drop shot or something like that. It's not going to heavily influence too much unless you're just a really, really good sniper. That was a brave peek. Interesting push here. I don't think Swarm shouldn't win this. Yeah, that was some good kills. And they still have, I think, a 2v2 over at the B hill. So this home hill is going to be pretty much for free. It's going to be the shortest respawn timers. So holding this might be difficult. I would expect to see Swarm either flood with numbers, like all 3 off respawn here, or go to B. But it doesn't look like they're doing either of those. They're just kind of doing this slow push here. Oh, he could have gotten the kill, but he turned around. That was tragic. So this guy taking middle map is actually a really good angle. A lot of teams don't think about that. In fact, that second half home hill where he just sniped at, that's a great angle as well. You're in a really safe spot. and you can shoot across the map and be really annoying, putting in damage for the people who are holding on the side, like where Cog is right now. So on like defending the people from the people off spawn, you can just kind of pepper them. So a lot of times, I'm going to pause this real quick and bring up the overhead map again. A lot of times you'll see teams, for example, so if you need to take the hill from this side, right? And we'll just say the yellow marks are going to be like the other team. I don't know, something like this, or maybe this guy's over here somewhere. A lot of times what you'll do is, or what you'll see is, you'll see this team kind of push through here and get control of this second half area right here, and then look across the map and put in Lancer damage. So these guys are getting 1-pointed, 2-pointed, 3-pointed, and they have to move around. And because they have to move around, then the people sitting here, and maybe even down here can be hitting them like this until they get it down, or they get them to fall back some, and then they can kind of push up, take this cover, take this corner, and then slowly make their way into the hill. So it's a strategy you'll see pro teams use, and it's kind of what you're seeing right now in its own way from that guy who was over there, that the person we're watching sniped at. Good down. He should be able to clean that up. Ooh, he shot early. That was kind of risky. Good double kill, though. He's feeling himself. How did this guy get behind them? All right, he's probably dead. Oh. He took one with him. That's huge. That kill alone, it could be a round-winning kill. I don't know why the people on their home hill, they should be on B already. Like, B should be getting decapped. This one person on this second half home shouldn't be stopping this. I also don't know if they're holding their... Yeah, he has no teammates on his home. It just seemed like wherever he was, whoever we're watching, the other people weren't reacting well to what was going on the map. They can still win this because they got the cap on B and because they got that kill. But this could have gone really bad. Yeah, so this round's over. 2-2 at the half. Putting down double smoke grenades, and this team's got more utility. Cog team has more utility. Snipe's still on E, so we're still going to see probably more priority around this side of the map, as opposed to what you'll see a lot of like base strats for other, like pro teams, where they play for that home to home strategy. So it looks like they have 4 here, kind of one back on this corner, one up on the fridge, one on this yellow berry who just got down, and that guy. This is great crosses. That guy panic jumped over. Okay, that's their intro into this. Well played retake. They should pressure this. This is the longest respawns of the half, so they should be pressuring this 3 cap. They shouldn't be rotating back. These guys are just now coming off spawn when he got lancered, so that definitely could have gone better. The other team's playing for an OE. These guys need to be playing up. So sitting back like this doesn't do anything. One, you don't have any body on the hill, so this guy could like get up in that advanced positioning where he is on the fridge and have no pressure to get off. They're playing way too passive. And the other side of it is they could be playing more aggressive on that side and threatening the OE onto the D hill. Like if they're pushing through this side of the map and threatening that, then these people on their home hill have to turn around and like pinch, you know, try to get them off their home, because then they're still going to have 2 hills. And that lets this guy's teammates who are coming off spawn be able to come up here and get their home hill in an easier fight. Because like, let's say 2 people rotate back, so there's only 1 here. And we saw 1 guy over here, so we're missing 1, assuming there's 1 more over here. So it makes the numbers in their favor to get their home hill back while still holding E. All these guys have to do is just be putting pressure. Plus, this sniper rifle could be sitting on this mid cut over here, looking across to the home hill to help the fight, if they wanted to push up like that kind of advanced positioning. Instead, they played really passive, so they only have E hill to their name. The other team has double homes. And they have middle map control, so I'm guessing they're going to play for E and give up the F hill, assuming that Cog actually play for F. which it's looking like they're not. So now they've wasted their respawn timers and they're pushing. If you're going to make a retake on your home hill like this, you should try to use your respawn time or your spawn protection. I said respawn timers. You should be using your spawn protection. So holding your respawns until you're all able to go and then flying together and you abusing the fact that you can get into that hill with spawn protection. Instead, they kind of made this half push, died, lost E because the other team pushed E. And look how the other team won E and pushed through because they know the length of the respawns. They should have not respawned anymore. It's too early in the half. They're not going to be able to bring this round back unless they make some crazy clutch plays. Which, of course, is happening as I say that, so. That was a big fight. That was probably the round-winning fight. Because I don't think anyone else, yeah. No one else can go. This guy can make it. But yeah. And honestly, that Myra sitting there holding the hill could have gone over to their home hill. I guess it's a little bit risky because they could have respawned, but forcing respawns right there is kind of a win too. Because if we look at the respawn economy, they would have all been at 3, and it would have kind of matched theirs a little bit more. I guess when I said they didn't need to respawn earlier, I mean, it still stands true, but they had the extras, it looked like, so. Oh, well. So, Insins and Insins, that's kind of predictable. The only problem is the way they've placed their weapons. If you look, this team, whoever's on this side, is always going to have the Insin advantage over here on this E fight. Whereas if they had swapped the Retro Lancer up here and the Insin over here, then this sniper placement, they would have had Insins still been able to come to this, because you can't really run up here, grab Insins, and then run all the way back. You're just going to get to the fight too late. Whereas this team's going to have Insins on their way to the fight. So even though this guy might get there like a second later, 2 seconds later, he's still going to be there compared to this guy who's going to be there 5 to 10 seconds later. I guess it's, one of those hindsight's 2020 things, just because they aren't the ones who put the sniper rifle down, but things like that do matter. I missed that aggression from the first half. I would like to see these guys be super aggressive again. They're playing more passive now, and this guy's alone on baggage. So there's that incident I was talking about. The Swarm team wasted it. If they can get this down kill, then maybe not. Yeah, that was a bad play. That was a bad play that guy just got away with too. And now they're making kind of a desperation, like, retaliation push. The fact that he got a kill out of it is pretty incredible, though. I'll give him that. They're actually going to get 2. Wait. Oh my. They're going to win this. Oh, Swarm choked. Yeah, Swarm played this so poorly. Now if they play the hill. Oh. This Queen Myra definitely outplayed right there. All right, so the good news is they have 2 hills to 1. I would like to see them start giving up the E hill and start playing for the other team's home hill. Like, whoever just came off spawn, this guy needs to commit that direction and help his team, and they just OE. Especially because you can see this fight's already starting to go south. Somebody already died. Now he's in a 1v3 over there. There's a good chance that he gets downed. They've lost their home hill somehow. Yeah, he died. If he would have committed to that other push, they probably wouldn't have lost their home hill. They probably would have gotten 2 kills, and they would have had the other team's home hill. The good news for them is one of the players on Swarm is on 1 respawn. The bullet right there, you just saw him on their home, and he just got downed, and he'll probably get killed. He got killed. That's huge. So Swarm might give up on this round, which means they can play it a lot slower, you know, the COG team. Swarm picked up ensign, so it's important to call that out. Their teammate just made a great flank. We don't know where ensigns are, but this should be a pretty easy kill. This round should be all but over. I don't see Swarm respawning. 3-3. Could have gone a lot better if they would have committed. This map is very rotation heavy. You kind of have your initial fight, but after that, you really have to worry about the rotation and think about what your next play is. Other team decided to match the Boltok. So there's, because Swarm put down the sniper, COG is going to have that kind of permanent advantage of utility. So we'll see if they're able to, what are they up, 4-3? We'll see if they're able to close it out here. All right, so they're in a kind of good position. That guy just killed himself and a teammate with ensign. So that's a thing. That gives them a really big door into this this round. They've got sniper. They've got 2 hills. Sniper needs to start rotating around, which it looks like he's doing. They also looks like they're reading the push really well, except Lokia died. I don't know where he died at. I'm assuming up here somewhere. So him dying up there is actually huge. He should have been able to recognize that push. I'm sure the teammates were calling it out, even if I don't understand Spanish. So him dying right there is really bad. He just needed to play his life. And he had plenty of warning that they were going to push across because they were running all the way from E Hill. All right. The guy we're watching put himself in a really bad spot right there, but it looks like he's going to be able to get out. Never mind. He rolled into them. He was putting himself in a spot like he had teammates, but his teammates had rotated. So I don't know what he was trying to do. It's also really interesting because it looked like his team went through the middle of the map. So it's surprising that nobody who was on this home hill, this F hill, was lancering them. The good news is it worked out. They've traded. They're now in a situation where they're contesting double homes. They have a point lead. I like this cross. I'm not hearing numbers. I do know enough numbers in Spanish to know like when numbers are being called out, and I'm not hearing that. Which I would tell this guy that we're watching whether he can push E or not. It looks like he's going to try to pressure it with this guy off spawn, Pete's. Never mind. He's going to them. So this is one of those situations where you're running into a dead fight. They should have just focused on E. This Myra is really doing work for Swarm. Like one of the only reasons why this is as close as it is. Of this. This is greedy as hell. No one else is shooting the Myra. This is big. Okay. Killed her. Ensigns are out of play. Especially when you waste them like that. He needs to just slow down a little bit. Good play. I think they're calling to play for the sniper character or whoever has this sniper rifle. He choked right there. I think I just saw respawn economy is really, really bad for Swarm. Okay, it's bad for both teams. So if he respawns into this round, he's gonna have no respawns. I wouldn't advise respawning. 4 of his teammates are dead. Yeah, this round's over. It was 3-3. So 4-3 in the Swarm team's favor. That round basically came down to them not putting pressure on both sides of the map. They disabled ensigns, which means they're going to have to match the disable of ensigns. Yep. Swarm team has the point lead. Looks like they might have double capped actually. They've got 4 here, but they're not making a push. COG. So I'm not sure what their play is. They really just need to pick a spot and push. Okay, so they do pick a spot and push. Sorry, I got impatient and I skipped ahead a little bit. It was a bad counter flash. It should be a free kill. Perfect. One more free kill because this guy played this wrong. He took one with him. All right, so they should have E-Hill. They have Sniper. That's huge. We're going to trade off the weapon. So honestly, instead of sitting up here at baggage, what I would like to see the guy with the Sniper do is go sit on that that like ramp, the hop down from like where the first half home is over here. And snipe across to their home hill and let his teammates make a push. Good news is they're building up a point lead. They have 2 hills, so oh, he hesitated for too long. That was a headshot though. Every time Swarm makes a push on this side of the map, they lose it. They don't know how to fall back off that position without dying. It's something that they need to learn. And at the same time, the other people don't push fast enough to like balance it out. We're going to go back to our trusty overhead map for a second here. So Swarm was in a situation where they had like somebody here-ish, maybe here, and then he was like in this area. He was actually a little bit further back. We'll move him a little bit further back. He was like right here. So when they're in this situation and then they had 2 teammates like somewhere in this general vicinity, right? As soon as you get numbers on like this area, like how many people for Swarm there are here, you need to be able to tell these guys and let these guys start pushing through this. And Sniper can even look over. You could even have this guy rotate back and around something, but these guys, the Swarm team shouldn't be able to push through and pick up the kills right here and force this guy to run all the way back with his tail between the legs and be stuck on his home hill. They really need to just like they're not holding this well and they're not running away from it well. They're just kind of somewhere in the middle, and that shouldn't be a thing especially when you have the sniper rifle. Now they're losing their home hill. They lost E hill. They're gonna struggle to hold this because it's shorter respawns. That was a good kill. You know, he didn't actually clean it up, which is bad. He didn't clean it up. Okay, good. So they somehow got out of it, it looks like. But it's looking like it's more on the back of clutch plays from Charles and whoever we're watching rather than like good team play. Which if you match up the skill, like if you put them against a team that has a higher skill or equal skill to them, like you really can't rely on that clutch play. But because they clutched, they win the round. So we're going 4-4. Absolute shortest respawns in the game. They're probably going to half the instant respawn timer. Yep. I assumed that both teams did that. Every single round, the Swarm team has had a point lead over the COG team, which means the COG team is at a disadvantage. This is kind of what I talked about on Twitter today, the day I'm recording this, Monday, where... All right, that was kind of a waste of an instant. Where this like capture your home hill as quick as possible meta is causing these stalemates, and when one team has instants or shock grenades or both, it puts it in like a really weird spot. So 10 seconds later, still sitting here, still a point down. 10 seconds later, 10 seconds later. All right, they're starting to move up a little bit, trying to get some angles. They've capped the hill. and they got flanked. This guy's choking kills too. He did end up getting it, but he choked. He might be able to get at least one more with him. He's not that hurt right now in this fight. Oh, that sucks. He needs to get a touch. Oh, his teammates got a touch on their home. Literally, I don't even know how. That's huge. All right, so they're still in it. Respawns are probably going to be pretty bad. He definitely needs to fight for his new ensigns. It's good that they're checking corners. I like this. Okay, he's got ensigns. They should look to pressure E. They're going to need both more than likely. I think they could cap E right now and still win, but like they'd have to do it right this second. So they're going to need both hills, or at least capture 2 and break the home hill. He's not looking at his timer. He is running away from E hill, despite the fact that it says, yeah, that, I don't know why he did that, but this is all but over. That was an interesting decision to run all the way around. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. They lost the home hill on the other side anyways. If they had just pushed down as soon as that Myra ran away, let's see if we can find that moment. Right here, when this Myra's running away, if they're immediately pushing down and getting into the hill, then they're going to be able to get the break. This 25 seconds is going to be doubled. So by the time they push down, get in the hill, it'll probably go down to like 19, which will then double into 38 seconds. So then they'll have 38 instead of 25 to play for the D hill, this hill right here. So it gives them a lot more time. Plus they can kind of slowly pressure through this way, and while the other team is pressuring, like the rest of their team is pressuring through this way. But because, and it takes them, let's see, we're at 25 when the Myra's running away. Been 5 seconds. 10 seconds. So they started getting the hill. It was at what, 25? They're at 11 now. So was that 13 seconds, 14 seconds later ish? So now by the time he breaks this, he's got what, like 3 more seconds on the break. So that'll put it at 8. So that'll give them 16 seconds instead of the 30 something that we talked about earlier to get the other hill, which is just, unless they're already on that hill, like that puts a lot of pressure, and it's really hard to kind of clutch up in that moment. Plus they had to rush kind of take this fight, which they wouldn't have had to do if they did it right when that Myra was running away before she had help. So just a slow reaction, which whenever you see like on this map, basically the common trend, we're going to use this screen. The common trend that we were seeing was just not pushing around the map. I'm going to write quickly, so I apologize for the mouse handwriting. Not pushing around the map. I'm going to guess they weren't calling numbers. I'm going to draw the number symbol. They weren't calling numbers. At least I'm guessing, because they weren't reacting to it well. And honestly, I could go more in depth, but I think these are the main two. They weren't playing around the map well. They weren't like split pushing. Maybe play lives. You can add that in there. There's a lot of rounds where like they just died for free when they could have been running away and making a push somewhere else. So I'd like to see them work on these 3 things. I think those are the main reasons why they lost most of the rounds that they did. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this type of content, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the support, guys, and I will see you all in the next video.